Hi, my name is Maddie, and I am on a journey of weight loss and financial wellness after last year when I had a baby. I'm not breaking out the megaphone. That baby is asleep. It's nighttime, which is why the lighting in here is so awful. I'm using a lamp because, I don't know, but, hopefully you're watching this for the knowledge and not the fact that, I look like garbage. And okay, all right, we're not going to get off subject already, or are we? No, we're not. Okay, I just want to get into this video and share with you guys how my first month on Zepbound has gone. So if you are not new around my channel, then you would know that this is not my first time taking Zepbound. I took Zepbound back in 2024. You might be like, wow, Maddie, well, what are you doing back on it? Well, I started taking Zepbound originally because I was having a lot of issues in the fertility department, and my husband and I desperately wanted to have a baby. And long story, slightly less long, the doctors basically tied all my fertility issues to weight loss. Turns out that was not the case. But because I thought I needed to lose weight and I wanted to lose weight kind of fast, I got on a GLP-1. And it worked wonders for me. I believe I lost about 35 pounds in the first 5 months that I was taking it. I was not trying to lose weight at a breakneck speed. And then I proceeded to lose, maybe it was 40 pounds. I may be misquoting, but I proceeded to lose, total, I lost about 60 pounds. I continued to lose weight after I quit. When I gained it back was in pregnancy and postpartum. I haven't talked too much about how rough postpartum was, mainly because I can't share everything on the channel. I am very much an open book. I share a lot of things on my channel, but I can't share everything. So I did have some issues postpartum that definitely it made me gain some more weight. I mean, it was ultimately me, but I was stressed. Here's the thing. You only have so many to give. And if you're giving all of those toward things that are necessary, you start losing the things that feel optional. Should your health be optional? No, it should not. But for oftentimes it is, and that's just real life. So, in the words of the immortal Beatrice Caruso, I cannot quote this enough.
Sometimes you get fat, then a little less fat, then fat again. Sometimes you get fat, then a little less fat, then fat again. Sometimes you get fat, then a little less fat, then fat again. Sometimes you get fat, then a little less fat, then fat again.
So I had my baby in July of 2025, and already by December, I was like, I'm tired of being fat again. I want to stop. However, December, probably one of the worst times to start a diet, and I'm still having similar postpartum struggles. I just want to be clear, I don't want anybody to think I was having mental health struggles. I actually had a pretty nice mental health postpartum situation. I mean, everybody has their moments, but I've heard some horror stories, but it was just some logistic things that were going on in life. We didn't really have a village. That was one of the things, and there were a few other things. And so it was hard for me to make my health a priority. But December was about the point where I kind of hit a wall and I was like, no, I want to start making my health a priority. And so I decided I would figure out about getting back on a GLP-1. My job and my insurance stopped covering GLP-1s in 2026. So I managed to get 1 month of the lowest possible dosage of Zepbound, and that is 2.5 milligrams. And then I managed to get a 3-month supply at the end of the year for the 5 milligram supply. So I was very excited. So despite not being mentally or emotionally ready or logistically ready, again, December, one of the worst times of year to start a diet. I'm not saying don't if you are able to, if you have the mental wherewithal, but I didn't. I really, truly, I'm embarrassed to say, I started taking the 2.5 milligrams in December, knowing damn good and well I wasn't ready, but hoping that the GLP-1 would kick me into being ready. Not only did that not happen because I felt nothing. I think there was one day where I felt like appetite suppressant. I felt nothing. I also accidentally wasted one because I have the kind where it's like a spring-loaded pen, and I accidentally did the spring load thing and hit the button thinking it was like the lock button and it was the release button, and just $25, like those scenes in a movie where they're spraying champagne all over the place, except it was Zepbound. So that sucked. So basically though, I realized I'm like, I have a finite supply. I have a 3-month supply now of 5 milligrams Zepbound. And originally my plan was to kick off my weight loss journey on my own without it. And then once I got to that horrible place in the middle where you plateau, start taking it. Is that genius? Absolutely. That is a very smart thing to do. But I just wasn't doing it. So like a lot of people, at the start of January 2025, I started dieting. I started, I did the Chloe Ting challenge. I reported to you guys. I lost 7-ish pounds in January, which is not bad. I am not knocking that 7 pounds at all. However, January was a struggle. I was persisting on vibes and fumes and everything. And then February rolled around and I just felt like crap. I lost next to no weight in February. Now, I did not gain weight, which is very good in my opinion. When you're as big as I am, you can still gain weight. And so I didn't gain weight, but I didn't lose it either. And then I ended up going to the doctor. I had routine lab work done for the first time since having my baby. And it turns out that my thyroid is back to being a hypo little bitch. If you guys didn't know, I have had issues with hypothyroidism and PCOS. And I have had people in the past be like, well, Maddie, you wouldn't be as big as you are just from that. You have overeaten. I'm not saying I haven't overeaten. I have overeaten. Oh girl, I have eaten many a delicious high calorie things, but it feels disingenuous to like leave that out of the equation. In addition, in February, I also found out I was anemic, and I also found out that I had a vitamin D deficiency. So all of February, I felt like crap. I finally went to the doctor, and I just thought it was general like postpartum stuff, but she decided to do lab work anyway. I have a very good primary care physician, and she let me know all that stuff. And basically, I just kind of, I started taking medicine, I started taking my vitamins, I started doing all that, but I finally was like, I don't want to keep spinning my wheels and going nowhere and just holding on to this medicine, this potential tool I have in my fridge. So after a frustrating February, I decided I was going to go ahead and start taking my medication. And so this is that story. Okay, it's not that serious. This is me telling you how that went. My first month on Zepbound. I was extremely surprised about the difference between my experience this time around versus 2024. I don't want to say completely different, but I actually feel like my symptoms were a lot worse in 2024. I don't feel like they've been that bad this time around. One of the big symptoms I had was hair loss. Now, granted, that could still happen. Your girl has PCOS. Now, I will say a big difference between now versus 2024 is that I am on birth control. I have an IUD. So maybe that is helping to suppress some of the symptoms, because like I have PCOS and that causes hair loss. I think I said jokingly in my other video, like you lose hair up here, you get hair here and here. And while I do have to wax, I have a ton of like new growth, as you can see, and just a lovely crop of gray hairs. I haven't really lost the amount of hair that I lost last time. And I don't know. I don't feel like the symptoms were that bad. Now, I will take it away to pass Maddie to explain what the common symptoms of being on a GLP-1 are. Not symptoms, Jesus, side effects, because there are numerous. Say it's nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, seems a little contradictory, stomach or abdominal pain, indigestion, injection site reactions, feeling tired, allergic reactions, belching, hair loss, and heartburn. So throughout the first 4 weeks, I would say the biggest and most persistent side effect that I have had, well, I've had two. The first one that comes to mind would definitely be fatigue. Specifically like right after I take my shot, probably for the first like 2 days. It kind of sucks because I think I started taking it on like a Friday, and yeah, the struggle was real because I just felt like crap all weekend. It's funny because I really am working on my mentality while I'm taking the GLP-1. I'm not just like, oh, I'm only going to fill up my calories on pizza. I am really working on having better habits because, again, I have such a finite amount of time to be on a GLP-1 that I am doing slow and sustainable, slow and steady wins the race, good habits, hitting my macros, trying to incorporate whole foods as much as I possibly can. All the good things. I'm not just kind of, I don't know, coasting through and enjoying it, although there is some enjoyment. And so specifically, whenever I took it Friday night, because I always take it at night so I can sleep off what I hope is the worst of it, I felt it work immediately on 5 milligrams. You know, earlier in the video, I said 2.5 milligrams did nothing. 5 milligrams, bada bing, bada boom. And I did not feel good when I woke up. I felt kind of nauseous and just not in the mood to eat at all, which is, I mean, it's kind of nice, but I don't like it associated with like nausea and just not feeling good. And it was kind of funny because it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now that's the only time I've done this. And it was because I wasn't feeling well and I had no urge to eat. The thought of eating made me sick or feel sick. I was driving home with Henry and I was being a little more snippy with him than I meant to. And I was like, can we eat when we get home? And he's like, oh, are you hungry now? And I was like, no, but I think we should eat. And I ate, and like, it made me feel instantly better. I should have eaten. And I realized like I was literally hangry, but not feeling hangry, which is a wild feeling. And I apologize to Henry. Thank you, Henry. Thank you for loving me. But I thought that was really funny. Something else that I experienced postpartum that I'm not proud of, but I'm gonna just be real with y'all, was for the first 6 months of my baby's life, he hated the car seat with the passion of 1,000 suns. He would scream the entire time. It didn't matter if the car was moving. It didn't matter if we were on the interstate. It didn't matter if we were in the city. It did not matter. He would scream his head off. It sucked. I would have a lot of people in my life that would be very like, well, just bring the baby. Like, why can't you just bring the baby? And I'm like, because the baby doesn't want to be in the car seat. So if we all got dressed and went somewhere, me and him, oh, I was getting a treat while I was out. A coffee, a little sweet treat, a McDonald's McChicken. It's a real problem. But I would do that, and that was a bad habit I had postpartum. And so, although I kind of mostly broken the habit, every now and then I'd go get a little something I'd be more conscious of, right? Even though I was still trying to lose weight in 2025. So it was interesting because when I started the GLP-1, I can't explain it. That urge to do that was still there, but it wasn't accompanied with the craving. So it was I say it was much easier. I just said no. I was able to say no to myself. Whereas before, I didn't always say no to myself. I'd be like, well, I feel I'm autopiloting over to McDonald's for a delicious McChicken sandwich. I have that craving where you can almost taste it. So it's kind of wild how your brain works, that even though you don't have that urge, you know. And if I didn't understand, so for me, like a GLP-1 is mainly just appetite suppressant, killing food noise and stuff like that. I do know that there are people out there that think it's just a magical thing and you can eat whatever you want and lose weight. And so like if I had a misunderstanding of how a GLP-1 works, I probably would have out of habit gone to McDonald's, for instance, but I did not. But that was a really interesting feeling, like feeling hangry without feeling hungry and feeling the urge to go and get a delicious treat without the craving. It's just a wild feeling. I don't know. It's an interesting juxtaposition that I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about. I did generally feel like I had a headache week 1 as well. And I would say on about day 4, I felt some of the food noise coming back, but it wasn't anything bad. It wasn't terrible at all. It just was what it was. So week 1's probably where I had the most, like, I guess intense, and intense is a very strong word. It was very manageable, but intense symptoms. From weeks 2 to 4, they were pretty consistent, but like not in a good way. Now I will say week 2 was special in that I was unfortunately having some problems, some issues. I'm just going to tell y'all because why not? But basically, I work remote, and I really like the fact that I work remote. I like the fact that I don't have to commute. I kind of feel like I'm able to like stay on top of my life by being able to use my breaks to like clean my house and load the dishwasher and, you know, chop vegetables on my lunch break or whatever I need to do. And due to our current political climate, they are talking about bringing us back in office. And so I was having a very stressful week too, because there was just a lot of drama, a lot of stress. And so I really didn't feel like the Zepbound was working. I think it was a combination of my body kind of leveling out a little bit and the stress. However, my health goals are important to me, so I did keep chugging along as best I could. Weeks 2 through 4, other than that specific thing of week 2, the symptoms, the side effects, I keep saying symptoms, the side effects were all the same. Acid reflux, for some reason. Constipation, I'm really sorry, just is what it is. But yes, constipation. I ended up taking some Miralax, and I'm terrified to take that kind of stuff because I'm like, what if I open the floodgates and they won't close? But luckily Miralax was like, it was gentle, it was what I needed. And sulfur burps. And I read the sulfur burps are like a result of constipation, essentially. So once I got things moving, it was a lot better. I'm sorry. I know that that's TMI, but that's what was going on with me. And if you wanted to know, now you know. So I guess the big question that a lot of people would like to know is, Maddie, how much weight did you lose while you were taking a GLP-1? Now, I do want to like just give you guys some caveats. I did mention earlier that like it's important to me to build sustainable habits while I'm on a GLP-1. I am not eating 1,200 calories a day. In fact, I talked to a registered dietitian. Anyway, I asked her how many calories should I be eating a day for sustainability, because I input my calories into the Loseit app, because yes, I do track. And the Loseit app was telling me that to lose 1.5 pounds a week, I would be eating a little less than 1,400 calories a day. So I reached out to a dietitian and I asked her how many calories should I be eating in a day to lose 1.5 pounds a week. And she said that I should be eating between 1,500 to 1,700 calories. So I have my calorie limit set to 1,600 calories, and that is what I try to stay under. I still once a week, usually at the end of my injection, will like enjoy, you know, a meal.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
I am still enjoying life. Life is still happening. And I guess that kind of gives you guys an idea of like how a GLP-1 is working for me. I'm still able to enjoy food and whatnot. It quiets the food noise, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm sorry for all that rambling, but I just wanted to let you guys know what I have been doing in terms of like weight loss. I'm not trying to lose weight super quickly. I'm just trying to get started. For me, that's the hardest part. So at the beginning of March, at the beginning of starting this GLP-1, it's been about 4 weeks.
So editing Maddie here, I don't know what I was thinking, because I was like, yeah, I've been on it for 4 weeks. I've done 4 injections. I did my 4th injection like 2 days before filming this. So I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry. So just take that with what you will. It was really more like a 3-week check-in, but I've already edited most of this video, so we're not going back.
I weighed in at about 241 pounds, and at the end of this month, so I only lost 5 pounds in March, and that's actually a little under what I'd like to lose. I'd like to lose 6 pounds because I'm trying to lose 1.5 pounds a week. I'm kind of like wondering, I'm like, where'd I go wrong here? It was a little bit into March, and technically I'm not done with my 4th injection now, but I wanted to get this video out. So I guess it was a little less than a month. This isn't about losing weight as quickly as possible. This is about my life, and this is about habits that I want to build that will last forever. And I really have been trying to change my mindset around things and focusing on hitting macros. It's been kind of like, I don't know, it's been kind of exciting. If you liked this video, I'm not sure why you would, but yeah, then you can like, comment, and subscribe because the YouTube wizards love that stuff for the growth of my channel. I'll be doing a check-in at the end of the 3 months and telling you guys how things went. I will say from here on out, I am probably going to be spacing apart my injections. So probably about every 10 days or so instead of once a week to really try to get the most bang for my buck. I'll be telling, I'm sorry, my cat's standing in front of the lamp. Actually, the lighting's kind of better. Go back, girl. Okay, so I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on that. I'll be sure to keep you guys posted. And yeah, and I also do a lot of workout challenges and all kinds of other stuff. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in watching my weight loss journey, then please like, comment, and subscribe because the YouTube wizards, they love that stuff for the growth of my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye.